Hello. Hi. What's up? Welcome to the class once again. Okay, so in our previous class, we were looking at the parts of the wall, of the cell. And I gave you an analogy, a way to remember the cell easily. I said most of the time, take the cell as you're entering somebody's house. If the house has a wall, then the main wall is the wall, becomes the cell, which is only present in plant cell. But those of us who live in houses that don't have that wall, then we start what? The plasma or the cell membrane. And we said that wall with the gate, before somebody enters our house, we need to make sure so that we make sure we know who is entering. That's the job of the cell wall membrane. It controls, or it is what, semi-permeable in nature. That means it allows the substance of in and out of the cell depending on their size and in nature. That's what it does. So we look at that and we say that once you enter the cell, once you're allowed by the cell membrane to enter, you will see a space. And that space is the what? Is the cytoplasm. Now, in the cytoplasm in your room, with the space, you have television, you have chairs, you have kitchen, you have this, you have that. Now, these things will serve as the what? The organelles. And we said that organelles are structures within the cell that perform specific function. And I connected that to the chairs and the tables in your house or in the room. In the room, the chair has its function. The table has its function. The dining way, everything there has its own function. And I connected the vacuum to the kitchen. And when we look at the vacuum, because it has what? It has sugars and salt in it, then it becomes the kitchen for the what? The sun. But that's how we store food. Good. So that was what we discussed the last time. Now today we are going to continue from the mitochondrion or the mitochondria, which is plural. Now, what is the mitochondria? It is also an organelle. Remember that organelles are memory-bounded structures, right? Organelles are what? Memory-bounded. That means they will have memory around them. Okay, so let's go straight into it. We're looking at what? The mitochondria or the mitochondria. So take your notes and let's go deep into what you can write the notes here. We have the mitochondria. We have the mitochondria, which is an organelle. Now let's see what this is. You can see the picture. The mitochondrion is a sausage-shaped organelle, a sausage-shaped organelle, which provides the cell with energy. Remember, we said that the cell also needs energy or get energy from what? From respiration. In fact, this occurs as well or in the mitochondria. So the mitochondria is sausage-shaped organelle which provide the cell with what? With energy. Because of this, because it's giving the cell energy, it is referred to as what? The powerhouse of the cell. Why the powerhouse? Because it is the guy that gives what? Energy. Okay, of the cell. A cell's energy requirement depends on the number of mitochondria it has. The number of mitochondria in a particular cell or the amount of energy a cell needs will tell the number of mitochondria you have. If a cell needs more energy, then the cell must have what? More mitochondria. I hope you get the point I'm making here. A cell that will need less energy will have what? Few number of what? Of the mitochondria. Good. So example, the muscle and the what? And the stem cell. If you look at these muscles, we use them a lot. The muscles of the hand and the legs, you use them a lot. So therefore, the cells there will need what? Will need more of what? Of the mitochondria so they can get more energy. The same as the stem cell. When they are released, they have to swim to an egg. So they need more energy. And that is found in their what? In their middle piece. Once we look at that, you will know that. Good. So we say the mitochondrion is the what? Is the powerhouse of the cell, or it's referred to as the power. So the mitochondria provides energy. Provides energy for the cell. Hence, it is referred to as well. Hence, it is referred to as the powerhouse. So provides energy. Hence, it is called or referred to as, it is called the powerhouse of the cell. So why it's only asked, why is the mitochondria referred to as the powerhouse of the cell? Because it does what? It provides energy for the cell. So if you look at this, and where do we get energy from? Energy is coming from respiration. If you know the definition of respiration, respiration provides us with energy. That means respiration occurs in the what? In the mitochondria. Well, that's how we get the energy. So the function of the mitochondria or the chondria, the function of the mitochondria function is to do what? Is the site for cellular what? Respiration to produce energy. So that's the site for respiration, the site for respiration to produce what? Energy. So that's the function of the mitochondria. The mitochondria, that is where respiration occurs in the cell to have what? To produce the what? The energy. And we are saying that the more the mitochondria, the more the energy. So that's about the mitochondria. Good. Let's move. So that's another organelle. Then we go to the nucleus. What is the nucleus? The nucleus is the chief guy, the chief of the what? Of the cell. So we have the nucleus. We have the nucleus. Now, the nucleus is spherical in shape. It looks like that of a ball. You can see the picture there. It looks like a ball. Spherical in what? In shape or structure in the what? Cytoplasm, surrounded by a membrane. So yesterday or in our video before, we said that a membrane acts like what? Like a bouncer. It will allow substance in and out of what? Of a cell or whatever it is surrounding. So the nuclear membrane here also is there. Look at it. Let me read from here. It said the nucleus is a small spherical structure in the cytoplasm surrounded by a membrane called the what? The nuclear membrane. The membrane surrounding the cell is called what? The cell membrane. The membrane surrounding the nucleus is called the nuclear membrane. And I'm telling you that the membrane surrounding the vacuole is not vacuum membrane, but it's what? The tonoplast. Is the word tonoplast. Good. So I hope you get that. Good. And this, which controls the movement of substances in and out of the nucleus. Don't say cell, because that's not cell membrane. In and out of what? The nucleus. The fluid it contains is the nucleoplasm. Inside the nucleus is what? It's a fluid. So you are saying that the nucleus is what? Is one spherical. Nucleus is spherical. The nucleus has what? A nuclear membrane. A nuclear membrane. And the function of the nuclear membrane is to allow substances in and out of the nucleus, not the cell. So keep that. Which controls the movement of something in and out of the nucleus. It contains a fluid. So there's a fluid in it called the what? The nucleoplasm. The fluid in it. Like the way the fluid in the cell is called a cytoplasm. When you enter them, that's another whole new world on it too. And in the nucleus, that is the nucleoplasm. In the cell is cytoplasm. I don't know if you see the link here. Cell, cytoplasm, nucleus, nucleoplasm. Now that we enter, so that's what we have here. Good. Which contains thread-like materials called the chromatin. Now, in the nucleus, once you enter the nucleus, you can see the picture there. When you align the picture, you will see the what? The chromatins there. Now, these chromatins are what? Are hereditary materials. They contain the genes, so they have the chromatins. Now, these chromatins, I'm saying, they are what? They are thread-like. They are like threads. And these chromatins have the genes, or they contain the hereditary material. And these genes is G-E-N-E-S, not J-E-A-N-S, not this. But the genes is spelled this way. Now, these genes are responsible for the way you look. That is why you look like your mother or your father. Because they transfer, their hereditary material. We inherit them from our parents. So if you look like your mother, it means you got the genes from who? Your mother. So the part of your body that looks like that of your mother and father means you got those genes from there. And this is coming from the nucleus. That means that one function of the nucleus is to transfer characteristics of parents to what? To their offspring. That's under one function. And the nucleus, I said earlier, is the chief of the what? The cell. That means any activity that will go on, you have to inform the what? The nucleus. If any activity will go in the house, the father must know. So this guy says as well, the father of the what? Of the house. Before you can do anything, your father must have what? Notes or must note that before you do it. I hope you get the point I'm making here. So the function of the nucleus, I write them on the board, is two. The nucleus, that's what, is It controls all the life activities of the cell, and also is a site, or it contains the hereditary material which is transferred from parents to offspring. So it is responsible for the transfer of characters from parents to offspring because it contains chromatins, and these chromatins have the genes, and the genes are those that do the transfer. Okay, so let's go back into the notes. You can see the picture there. The functions have been written here. So when I asked about the nucleoplasm, is the nucleus, or the space in the nucleus is the nucleoplasm. Like the way the cytoplasm is the fluid of the nucleus is also the nucleoplasm. In this fluid, we have thread-like material. This is how they look like, thread-like material. And these thread-like materials are called the chromatins. These chromatins contain genes. And these genes, they have your parents' character that you inherited. Hence, refer to them as hereditary materials. So let's look at the function of the nucleus. The function of the nucleus. We said 1. The nucleus controls all the life activities of the cell. It controls. That's something the chief is sitting down there. What do you want to do? You want to respond, and this. You want to divide. If the cell wants to divide, the nucleus must divide first before the cell. If the nucleus does not divide, the cell will not divide. Division of the nucleus is called chiokinesis. And that of the cytoplasm is called cytokinesis. Now look at biology for biology students. We'll go deep into that, what the chiokinesis is and what the cytokinesis. You don't have to know that at this your level. All you have to know are these and how the shape of the nucleus is spherical. That's a nuclear membrane. We have the nucleoplasm, which is inside chromatins and genes responsible for the transfer of character. Let's go to the functions again. Functions of the nucleus. It controls all life activities of the cell, and it's also responsible for the transfer of characteristics from parent to offspring. So that's the function of the nucleus, another organelle, and that's the chief organelle in the cell. Good. Then we go to another organelle called the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. And you can see that one there. What we call the ER. ER can either be smooth or rough. So let's read what the ER is. Endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, or simply put, ER. Now look at this. ER is a network of channels bounded by memory. Of course, these guys are also organelles, and every organelle is memory bounded. So they are bounded by memory, found throughout the cytoplasm, and connects the nucleus to the cell membrane. They link the nucleus. So if this is a cytoplasm, this is a cytoplasm, this is my nucleus. These guys are channels from here. So they link the nucleus and the cell membrane. We call them the ER. If you look at the picture there, you can see we have the rough ER and we have the smooth ER. Now the rough ER, which is blue in color, has some dots on the surface. Those dots on the surface are the ribosome. The ribosome, the site for protein synthesis. That is where protein is made. That's where at the ribosome. That's where we synthesize or we make proteins. Then we have the smooth ER, which is the green in color, and the green in color, you can say that one does not have the dot on it. So that one is the smooth ER. These are the functions of the endoplasmic reticulum. So we are saying that these guys here, they are channels that connect the nucleus to the cell membrane, and their function is to store calcium. It stores calcium. Then once again, they synthesize the synthesis of lipids. Remember, lipid is a component of the cell membrane. I said the cell membrane is made up of proteins and lipids. So that is it. And these lipids are made by our endoplasmic reticulum. These channels that connect the nucleus to the cell membrane. Okay, so that is about the endoplasmic reticulum. Then we go to the Golgi bodies or the Golgi apparatus. Now look at them too. So these are stack of minute flat sacs surrounded by a membrane. Of course, these guys are organelles. So most of the time all the time they are surrounded by a membrane. So that's why you are hearing memory. Good. They have a cluster of vesicles at their end. A cluster of vesicles. When we say vesicles, like something, those round things you see there. At their end, you can see these vesicles there. what they do, they are responsible for the repair and production of what? Of the cell membrane. So their job is to go and repair the what? The cell membrane. If there's a problem wrong with this cell membrane, then our Golgi apparatus or the Golgi body, they will come and repair it. So that's their function. Keep that in your head. They act as well as the, let's put them, that is the contractors. They come and say, okay, there's a problem here. There's a space here. No. So they come and fix it for us. Then they make sure they mend the site. So keep that, and those ones are the what? Golgi apparatus. So how do I remember this? If you hear Golgi apparatus, they carry the tools. Apparatus are tools needed for any scientific experiment. So Golgi apparatus, your job is to have an apparatus, then go and what? Go and repair the cell. So keep that in your head and never forget that the function of the Golgi apparatus is that it is responsible for the repair of and production of what? Of the cell membrane. So they help the cell membrane. They make sure the walls of the animal cell is well protected. If there's any crack in the wall, these guys will go and do what? Will go and mend it. Okay, so that's about the Golgi bodies. Golgi bodies. Let's go to the lysosome. The lysosome. Now, if you look at the picture, they will say the lysosome. Lysosome. The lysosome are what? Lysosomes are dark spherical fluid flow structure surrounded by a single membrane. They are mostly in animal cells than what? Than plant cells, but they are also in plant cells. Good. Their function is to digest materials in the what? In the cell. So they also serve as the cell's stomach. We can put it that way. So that when you eat or when a cell gets food, the food is what is being digested by the lysosome. I hope you get the point I'm making here. The lysosome's function is serving as what? Your stomach. I'm connecting this so that you can get it. I said, Golgi apparatus, the guy has an apparatus. So his job is to go and what? To go and fix, mend the cell membrane. These lysosome, what they do is that they are going to help digest. So they become the stomach of the cell. When these guys are connecting, like a channel that connects this to this. When they are doing that, they are also storing calcium, and they are producing or synthesizing lipid. This lipid is needed for the formation of also the cell membrane. But the Golgi apparatus, when there is any problem with our cell membrane, they fix it. These guys will also help us to digest the food that we take in. So that's the function of the what? Of the lysosome. They help what? They help digest it. That's to break down materials in the what? In the cell. Then we come to the ribosome. I spoke of the ribosome. Now the ribosome, what is it? The ribosome, a minute structure found in what? In large memory cells. Some are free in the cytoplasm, while others are bounded to the surface. Like I told you, when we look at the ER, I think that the dots on that ER is the what? The ribosome. And some of the ERs will have, others will not have. So ribosome is the site for protein synthesis. Ribosome is the site where proteins in the cells are. And you see, this is how the ribosome is. If you go deep into this one, I bring biology, we'll look at this thing, the way these transcriptions and what translations are occurring. But here we are not looking at that. All that we have to understand is that this is where protein is what? Is synthesized in the cell. We know where energy is synthesized. Energy is synthesized in the mitochondria. But when it comes to the protein is synthesized by what? At the ribosome. And we say the ribosome can either be free when they are free, or they are what? They are attached to our ER. And that gives us the rough ER. And without the ribosome, we have what? We have the smooth ER. Hope you are getting what I'm saying. Good. That's very important. So for ribosome, what are they doing? They are the site for our protein synthesis. The protein the cell needs is what? It's made at the ribosome. Very, very easy. Now the last function or the last organelle we'll look at is the chloroplast. A special feature only for what? For plant cells. And that is what the plants have above animals. The only thing they have above us is the chloroplast. And the cell wall that we also don't have. Now the chloroplast, if you see it there, I always say the chloroplast is like a container. In it is the what? Is the chlorophyll. You can see the way the chlorophyll is arranged. The chlorophyll is there, arranging them in the thylakoids. But I don't want to go deep into those things. Just let's look at them. So the chloroplast is an oval-shaped organelle containing chlorophyll. The chloroplast is an oval shape. Look at the shape of the chloroplast. You can see how oval it is, round like that. Good. Oval of shape organelle containing what? Chlorophyll, a green pigment which gives plants their green color It is only present in what? In the plant cell. It's only, once again, it's only present in the what? In the plant cell. What is the function? It has only one function. Its function is that it contains the chlorophyll, which will trap the sunlight for what? For photosynthesis. So the function of the chloroplast, the function of the chloroplast is that it contains chlorophyll. It contains chlorophyll, which traps sunlight for photosynthesis. If I ask you the function of the chloroplast, this is what the chloroplast does. It does what? It contains chlorophyll, which will trap or which traps sunlight to carry out what? Photosynthesis. So these are what? The functions of the what? Of the parts of the cell, or the organelles in the what? In the cell. When we meet again, we'll look at the differences between the plant and animal cell, the similarities between them, then the level of organization in what? In the cell. Look at the tissue and those other ones. Good. Thank you very much for joining this class. This is where we end this one. Very short, so that you can just understand this. The next time we meet again, like I've said, we'll look at the rest of it. Thank you very much once again. Remember to do what? To subscribe to the channel, to share to your friends, comment, and also like the channel. Because like after, we have so many interesting things for you. Those in Basic 7. Those in Basic 7, we are here with you. Thank you very much for joining the channel.